What just happened with Twitter and with the release of this, I mean, I really get speechless. The level of corruption, it is as anti-American and as sick as anything we have ever seen, and we're living through it right now. And it takes a pagan like Elon Musk to say, this seems wrong to me. And I think we need to be clear about this. But this is an extraordinary moment for us in this nation.
It is. Kudos where it's due, right? Elon Musk has done more for the cause of freedom in our nation than almost any Christian politician that I can think of.
Or any conservative politician.
Any conservative or Republican politician.
Yeah.
I mean, he has acknowledged that the threat of assassination, of him being assassinated right now, is significant. And that tells you all you need to know. This is what I've been saying on my show. I've been saying the reason that the left, meaning elected Democrats, the mainstream media, and blue check marks on Twitter are freaking out to the extent, and woke corporations, are freaking out to the extent that they are when all Elon is doing is restoring free speech to Twitter is because free speech is an existential threat to Marxism.
Bingo. Thank you for summing it up, because that needs to be clear, ladies and gentlemen. The people on the left who are no longer, Paul Tsongas and Tip O'Neill, okay, they are essentially Marxist, and Marxists don't believe in God, truth. They believe in power.
Yes.
And when you start actually having a conversation, that is a threat. They don't want speech to be free. They want to control speech. But it's amazing that we're at a point, Liz, where they don't even care that it's obvious that they want to crush free speech.
Well, this is not hypothetical, right? We've actually seen this play out in the last couple years. Take, for example, critical race theory. This is some of the research that I'm talking about. Critical race theory is not just a poisonous ideology in and of itself, telling white children they're racist because they're white, black children they're oppressed because they're black. It's the grandchild of critical theory, which is a Frankfurt School Marxist theory that is cultural Marxism, essentially. And it's just the outgrowth of critical theory. And we've seen in our nation that when people, parents especially, are shown what their children are being taught, they're shown that their children are being indoctrinated with critical race theory, they don't want that, regardless of whether they're Republican parents, Democrat parents, Christian parents, non-Christian parents. People don't want that. So what did the left do? They didn't make an argument for critical race theory. They tried to obscure it. They tried to silence those of us who understood the reality of the political enemy that we're facing. And the same thing with queer theory, which is the underpinning of the transgender ideology. They don't want people to be able, it's not that they're trying to silence you, Eric. It's not that they're trying to silence me, Liz, even if they censor us. It's that they're trying to prevent everyone who listens and watches from being able to have access to that information. That's much scarier than the idea of some personal government vendetta against us, because they know that information is a fundamental threat to their ideology.
Well, and it's funny because speaking as Christians, we understand God stacked the deck, folks. He created the universe and this thing we call reality, and there is no way ultimately to subvert it. You can subvert it in the short term, but in the long term, the truth will always out, to quote Shakespeare. There is no way that doesn't happen. Sometimes it takes decades, but it eventually comes out. And they are trying to pull a power play in the short term and saying, shut up, everybody just agree with us. And if you don't, we're going to cancel you. We're going to do what we can. Because if you have any kind of fair conversation, anyone who can understand it would understand that critical race theory, queer theory, all of this stuff is from the pit of hell. It's pure nonsense. It's based on things that most people know are wrong. And so you're quite right. They do not want people to really understand this. So just shut up and go along with it, or you'll get in trouble. That's called bullying. That's power.